it was like half interview, half waiting for the next person. Um, so it was a long time. So then Caitlin's interviews did not. People need to be nicer to Caitlin. She was what, like 3 minutes of a 2.5 hour video. Uh, you know, she has been so great to us and to me, and she wanted nothing more than for me to be able to go into the backyard, and she, helped push for me to be back there, and she was so happy for me, and I really, really hate seeing people trashing her, saying like, don't be out there. Like she is great, and I loved getting to talk to her out there. Um, so we did it all. We wrapped it up. The wrap party was done again by the time we were finished. So we were trying to see if there were like um, if people were gonna like go to a bar afterward or something else, but it didn't seem like that was the case. So we were just kind of walking out with Aika. That was on Instagram. That was fun. Aika's so great. Um, and then we ran into Caitlin. So what we heard when we asked people who were leaving, they were like, "Oh yeah, the rap party's over. It's been shut down. There's like two people left in there." We're like, "Oh, two people, okay." And so then we were walking back to the parking garage, and uh, what do you know? Out comes Caitlin with a few other people in a golf cart that they wheel around in the studio lot. And yeah, she was one of like the so-called two people left at the bar. Um, and she was just like screaming on the back of a golf cart, and and then we all ended up just getting into an elevator together. There was a ton of people. It was her and Swaggy and Bailey and like Caro from Love Island, and like the guy from Love Island, and a few other people. And it was just like she was just like, get in, and we just packed into this elevator, and people were just like screaming, and I don't know why they were screaming, but they were just screaming and like jumping around, and the elevator was swaying, and I thought I was gonna die. Um, but we survived, so that was good. Um, I think we told the story on the Survivor podcast, but uh, that that was interesting. Um, so then we came back here, um, and it was like 2 in the morning, and we had to get the interviews like edited and posted, and it takes a long time. It's a long video to edit and to export and to upload, and so we got most of it done. I ended up uh, going into the studio and just sleeping in there, and Rob ended up staying up and watching Survivor, waiting for all the things to export, making sure everything got finished. Um, and he didn't get to bed until like 5 in the morning. Um, and then yesterday we I woke up. I still didn't get much sleep, but more than him. I did sleep in the studio. Because this is, he would have woken me up. I'm really, if I had gone to sleep for like an hour and a half and then had him come to finish posting the videos, it would have woken me up and I wouldn't have been able to get back to sleep. So I just went into the other thing. I'm missing excitement at TwitchCon. Well, there's not much I can do about that. I'll be there tomorrow. Um, so then yesterday I watched Survivor. We recorded a very long Survivor podcast. That was a lot of fun. I went to take a nap, because I was exhausted um, before the party last night. Because JC had been like, "Hey, you should come to the hotel with Fessy and the gang. We're pre-gaming." And so I was like, I need to sleep before I go. And usually I nap for like 10 minutes, but I end up falling asleep for like 2.5 hours, um, and waking up like at around the time I was supposed to meet with them. And and so I just kind of quickly got everything together and went over there and hung out with those guys. JC, Fessy, Haley, Ovi, and Hannah were there. Kemi stopped by, and came with us. Nick showed up. I was Jack and Jackson were there briefly. Sam came. Um, David was there. um, I think that's. But we stayed there for a while. Bambi, oh my God! Thank you for the 5,000 bits. Holy crap! I want to thank me for everything I do all season. So happy I was able to get to the backyard. Um, enjoy my thoughts. Looking forward to the Terrence Show interviews and seeing me do the challenge. Thank you, Bambi. Um, Jack and Jackson in person, like totally cool. Which I think is to be expected, right? They were both very charming in the house, and Jack in particular, like you can totally see why he was so like everyone was just drawn to him. He's a very charming guy. Um, Keith, with the second month, thank you. Um, which person surprised me the most when they got out of the house? Um, maybe Sis. I ended up talking to Sis a little bit at the rap party. She's super nice. Um, yeah, we hung out for a while. I talked to Haley for a while, and she is so nice. It's ridiculous. And I don't want to say I didn't expect it, but she was super super great. She talked to me for a while. She was like super interested in the conversation. Like sometimes when you talk to reality show contestants, they like talking about themselves. Um, but Haley was like super like interested in me and what I do, and it was really cool talking to her. She was really great. Um, so then we walked over to the rap party after a bit. Um, and there were some people hanging out outside who were like, "Oh, Taryn, like we wanted to meet you," which is really cool. Um, Especially because I was standing in the midst of a bunch of Big Brother players, which I don't know how many of them appreciated that, but it was cool. Um, Went into the club or whatever it was. Um, Man, I met most of them in there. Um, the only so I talked to Nick a little bit at the hotel. I talked to briefly talked to Jack, at the hotel. Didn't talk too much with Jackson, um, but the people I talked to at the club were I talked to Holly briefly, Sis, Christy, Tommy, um, Nicole, Cliff. Who am I missing? I don't know. I mean, there are other people too, yeah, but I didn't meet Jackson's parents. Oh, Tommy's brother. I met him. He's really cool. Um, Sam was at the hotel. I talked to him a little bit there. Jess was not there. Kat, I did not have a chance to talk to. She arrived pretty late. Um, and Bella was not there. Um, but I came in. Um, I hung out a lot with the Hogg family. They're they're really awesome. Super nice. Uh, Kelly and Daniel, Sharon, um, uh, Sue. Um, they were all really great. Uh, they had like a corner in the little area that we were in, and I just kept going back there, just like sit down and like cool off because it's super hot in there, and just hang out with them and Hannah um, and stuff like that. Um, so I talked to Sis. I was like, the interview was great. Everyone loves it. She was like, oh my god, I look dumb. No, no, it's good. It's good. People enjoyed it. Um, but she like, sorry, I'm getting really crooked here. Um, seriously, like she was so like nice about it and like super sweet. Like it was good talking to her. Um, talked to Christy and let her, I let her know that there she has a lot of people that were really like big fans of her game, and that I appreciated watching it. Like I was a big fan of Christie's game, so I wanted to make sure that she knew that she had some supporters out there for her gameplay. Um, I talked to Tommy. He he's exactly Tommy. Um, uh, just like, oh yes, yes, it's you. Um, Tommy actually, so Tommy's brother came up to me. He said that he's a listener, and he loves the podcast. And Tommy's dad also came up to me, and he was like, "Oh my God, we love you. We watch you every day." Um, I was like, "Oh man." Uh, I took a picture with Tommy and his brother, but it was on their phone, so I need to get it. Um, uh, I talked to Peter Brown, who was there. He was cool. Um, hung out with Rachel, with JC. Um, maybe I have pictures that will remind me. I did not meet Tom Green. Okay, so here's just like I'll probably post some of these, but um, this was we we stopped by some. This was on our way to the party. That was Kemi and Nick was there in the background. Um, I just posted the picture of myself and Nicole. Um, I took a picture with Christy and Sis together. Um, this was me with Haley and Rachel. And this is me with the Hog family. I don't have the picture with Tommy on my phone. It's on I think his brother's phone. Um, I will post them eventually. I got around to posting the Nicole one. Um, but yeah, I talked to Nicole. She's really great. She was definitely like you know overwhelmed as I was. Um, in the it was very loud, very hot, and she was like one of the main people that everyone wanted to talk to. Um, and it's a lot. It's a lot. Um, so she's going home, flying home now. She's not going to Vegas, which I personally think is a smart choice. Um, and you know she wants to be with her family and everything. What else? I don't know if I talked enough about how awesome Ovi and Hannah are. Um, uh, so yeah, a lot of people left. I hung out some more with the Hog family. They're so nice. They offered to give me a ride back because Rob didn't end up coming because he was so tired. He didn't get like any sleep, and he was not able to nap like I did. So he ended up not coming. So I took an Uber there, and the Hog family drove me back to Rob's house, uh, which was super nice. And that was really cool of them. So we talked for a while in the car as well, and it was a lot of fun. They had like a big like a van that they rented, basically. It was it was really cool. I did see Swaley um, briefly. Um, Cliff was with them, yeah. Tangela was not there. Dinner with the pre-jury was fun. It was really cool. I mostly talked with Ovi, Hannah, and Kemi, um, uh, but it was good. Jackson was around. He was with Holly. They were hanging out. Um, I did talk to Holly briefly. Um, Doctor Will left as soon as I talked to him. He was there for like just a little bit longer, and then he left. I think he was just kind of poking his head in. So I was really glad I jumped on it and got a chance to talk to him. Yeah, they were definitely curious. I talked because I was in the car with the Hogg family and Cliff. Um, I talked to them a lot about like things that Cliff might not know at this point, and we were talking about it all. Um, it was good. I don't do a regular Survivor podcast, no, not at the moment at least. Rob actually talked to me about that. Why do so many people in the jury think that Nicole is a master manipulator? That's a good question. So one of the things we learned in the interviews was that basically Nicole absolutely would have beaten Holly, and part of that is because they really thought that she was like some master manipulator. And here's the thing, they're not super wrong. Um, Kat said that either she is was blind and got lucky, or that she was a secret mastermind genius, and there's no in between. I almost said to Kat, it's actually in between. Like she did a lot of really great things, and she also played with her heart in a lot of situations. Um, but I think they really leaned toward the mastermind side of things. My guess is that that started with Christy when Christy went to the jury house, because I don't know why, I don't know what happened with Christy, why she came to that conclusion, but I think that when Christy came to the jury house, she started talking about Nicole, and things started clicking for people, and they really started to see her as a big jury threat, which is definitely interesting. We Brent and I will be covering Sequester. Yes, I watched season two. It was really cool. It was really fun. Um, I'm excited to cover season three. If you're interested in watching Sequester, you can just find it on YouTube. You don't need to watch season one. I haven't. I don't plan on it. You can just start with season two. They explain everything. There's nothing like you're missing by missing out on earlier seasons. Just watch season two. It's really fun. I think it was like 10 episodes. Dominic and Anthony do like me. We uh we have fun. We're gonna maybe play some Mario Party today. They like Anthony likes swinging around on his lizard toy. Um, I'm still in LA. Rob's just over there recording. Was the pre-jury awkward because Camille? No, it was more just like I was chatting with Ovi and Hannah and Kemi, like the four of us were chatting, and then David and Bella and Sam were kind of on the other side of the table, like chatting. You can find Sequester. You can, if you just Google Sequester season two. I think it'll just pop up on YouTube. Yeah, the YouTube channel in the first video is episode one. So I'm not gonna do a house tour. It's not my house to tour. Who left the most lasting impression on me? Um, Honestly, most of the people I talked to were really great. But in terms of new people that I met, I mean, I'd been chatting with Ovi for a while, but like Ovi and Hannah are great. I've already met Cami, but she's amazing. Um, Haley was really, really nice. Um, I don't know. It's just too many great people to talk. Uh, Tommy's brother was really cool. The whole Hog family. Um, it's just it's too many people. I'm gonna forget. I'm gonna forget people. What am I gonna do with extra time? My extra time. Well, I'm gonna be here in on the West Coast for a little while longer, um, and then be back home. I'm gonna record some more. Once I get back home, it's gonna be I've got a Ninja Warrior podcast to record. Got to do a Terran show. Got to do the season wrap up roundtable, and then get started on the postseason interviews. I want to talk to a few people from the season if I can. So um, there's still a lot to be done, and then there's going to be a Survivor live show in New York in just a couple weeks. So if I go to that, I probably will now. Um, but we'll see. So still a lot to keep me busy, probably through at least the first 2/3 of October. But then I'll get to rest a little bit. I did not meet Nicole's family. Did I get any intel about production they're handling with controversies? Thanks, Blue Raw. Not really. Tommy's brother's a really cool guy. Um, I I like talking to him. Sam, thank you for the subscription. Thoughts on people shipping me and Nicole? Yeah, there's a lot. Um, like I get it. I'm not gonna tell people like don't do this, but I do wish that people could maybe be a little more chill. Like I'm used to that sort of thing. Like it doesn't really bother me. Um, but like Nicole, I don't know how like it's weird, right? Like she just got out of the house. She's very overwhelmed. Like I, I don't want it to be like weird for her to see a bunch of people shipping her with various guys. Like I'd be uncomfortable in that situation. Um, like and I get it. It's the fan base. They're gonna do what they're gonna do. But um, like okay, I'll say this: as long as you're not like tagging Nicole and like confronting her about like, oh, are you gonna get with whatever? Like, talk about whatever you want, but don't be weird. That's all I ask. Like, genuinely, like, I think she's a great person. I would love to get the chance to talk to her on a podcast. She seems like she'd be a great friend to have. Um, but like we don't need to go crazy here. I hope we can get Nicole on the podcast. I don't try like I don't want to like bum rush people um, with things. So like I think people underestimate how crazy it is for somebody to come straight out of the house into just a ton of people in like, especially if you're not like a party person, and like you go out and you're just, it's everybody just looking at you, coming up and talking to you. They know everything about you from the last 99 days, and you know nothing about them. And like, even when they're telling you that like they love you and that like you're great, like it's just like, oh, okay, like thank you, like it's so much. And I wanted to meet Nicole. I wanted to talk to her. I got that chance, but I did not want to contribute in any way, if I could help it, to making her feel overwhelmed. Um, so I'm not going to be like, hey, are you going to come on our podcast, like, um, or anything like that. Like just let her be. If she wants to come on the podcast, great. If she wants to continue to be involved in the community, great. If she wants to just go home and like hang out with her family for a while, that's what she should do. And I don't want to be the person that tries to drag her out of that. I did not ask Dr. Will if he would do a podcast with me. I thought about it because he didn't just come out of the house, but he's a very he's a very like gotta be very careful with Dr. Will. Um, I had heard somebody else talking to him right before me, and he said to them like, "Oh, my wife will do your podcast." Like he was kind of like, "Don't ask me to do your podcasts." You know what I mean? So I didn't. I just tried to make a good impression, and then it's getting hot in here. Um, you know, I feel like if I have any hope of Dr. Will doing my podcast, it's through somebody else who he knows getting him to do it. But now he kind of knows me. He might remember me, and it might increase the odds. Who knows? Will we ever get an LFC BB winner ranking podcast? Well, we have one from a few years ago, but we'll definitely update it at some point. Action Ellie, thank you. Thank you for all the hard work this summer. I'm happy to got to go to the finale. Did an awesome job. Thank you so much. Thank you. The backyard is exactly as big as I thought it was. I know I said that before, but you're asking me how big it was. I mean, I feel like you get a good sense of how big the backyard is, but who knows? The CBS lot is huge. I will not get to see Melissa. She's in Europe. I was kind of bummed because I love hanging out with Melissa, but what are you gonna do? Would it be easy to hear stuff from the different areas of one another in the yard? If you're talking at like a normal volume, probably not if you were like in the other corner. But if you were speaking loudly, then yeah, you could hear across. Where do I think Jackson ranks in the winner rankings? That we'll definitely talk about that in the season wrap-up roundtable. I have met Melissa in person a few times. She's a lot of fun. I don't know where the party was. I think it was in a different building. Kat thought, I think, based on what people have told me, Kat thought that we were the global people that interviewed her. Melissa will be back for the season wrap up. It'll be probably sometime late next week, maybe weekend of next week, maybe even a little bit later. I met some casting people. Ran into Robin Cass again. She did not remember me from Tirana. I did not see Tom Green. Do I think CBS will give Jackson the Andy treatment? Maybe. Where we were standing in the backyard was where the hammock is. We were in that hammock corner. It's kind of just stunning in person. Much more so. BB Toe 220. 1 to 20. Oh, I see it. Thank you for the subscription. How do you watch Sequester? When does it begin? You can Google Sequester Season 2. You can watch Season 2 right now on YouTube. Season 3 will be airing, I think, in November. Do I feel getting to know the cast so well on a personal level this season has affected my coverage? No, to be honest. If anything, I usually feel more comfortable criticizing people I like than I do people I don't like. But I recognize that impulse in me and I do my best to keep it even. I'd probably talk the cameras in that spot, in the hammock spot. Who do I want to talk to for postseason interviews? I'm not gonna say. Not gonna say until we either get them or don't. We watched the live show in the boardroom of the broadcasting building. I heard no mention of any winter seasons. Christy actually looked phenomenal in the backyard. Um, I can't say anything about her pheromones because I don't recall. But maybe it was her pheromones that made me think that. Who knows? I might do more stuff with Survivor this season. We'll see. I think so. I think so, woman. Pretty sure she's the only one at this point. MNI Stitch. Thank you for the subscription. I think Rob is wrapping up with Reem right now. Did any of my personal feelings change on the contestants after meeting them in person? Um, I'm gonna say no, for the most part, because I have feelings about them as characters on a TV show, um, and I definitely can get a sense of who they might be in real life. But like how I choose to feel about them is different when they're characters on the show and I'm commentating on about them versus when they get out of the house. And I've talked about this before. Like I think it's important for myself at the very least, and I would hope for most of the fan base to approach them differently once they're out of the show. They're not on TV anymore. They're people, and so that's always going to change how I see them. I was not mad at Caitlin for interrupting. My impression with this was like she was great. Like again, like if I'm just taking my interactions with them, like if I just met Sis on the street, like she was super sweet and like fun to talk to. Um, was David hot in person? Yeah, I guess so. I mean, he looks. I guess no. I think he. I mean, I think everybody looks better not in a Camp Comeback uniform. So, but other than that, I think he looks just like he did in the house. So if you thought he was hot then, you'll probably think he's hot now. Vegas is like the big party that a lot of them are going to. I would love to do the backyard again next year. I would love to do this all again. This is so good. Lower Paradise, thank you for the second month. Having since met them, if I had just met them as a house guest myself, not knowing them, who would I gravitate to for final two? Ovi, Nicole, Cliff, um, Sis, Tommy, and I would try, like, I would feel like I was capable of weaseling my way in with like Jack and Jackson, but I would not feel comfortable with them. Um, just because there's like my people are the nerdy people, like the Nicoles, the Ovies, the Cliffs, um, the outcasts, so to speak, and those would be the people I like really gravitated towards. But I still like I got along well with the other people, and I just wouldn't um, lock in with them or anything. Would you tell me at Final Five? Probably not, to be honest. None of our questions were censored. I do not believe the Vegas party is put together by CBS. We were not talked to at all. We were allowed to do whatever we wanted from CBS by CBS. No questions were cut from the interviews. I've thought about moving to LA, but who knows? Oh, I totally forgot to mention Kemi. Obviously, I was asked that question before about like who would I gravitate toward, but obviously Kemi, Nicole, Cliff, Ovi. Yeah, honestly, Blue Girl, that's one of the reasons why it's not really necessarily what I want to do. All right. Okay. Thank you. Thank you guys. Um, I'll definitely be getting back to more regular streams once I get back home. So, about a week from now, maybe. Um, but I'll probably need some time to decompress. So, um, thanks for hanging out with me. I apologize for being tired and rambling. Um, but I want to give you guys the update, tell you all about all the cool people and how cool they are, and how nice they are. Um, so, thanks for hanging out with me. I will see you guys later.